Hello and welcome here from the IT Service Provider Summit, close to Bonn. And I'm standing here with Thomas Kitz from HPE. He's kind of a veteran of HPE and now serving as director for service providers in the telco industry, but also with a long experience in business development. And that's also how we get into contact. So we already work together in the context of ecosystems. And that's why, of course, my first question is, what is your perspective from HPE perspective to the topic of business ecosystems?
Yes, I think we are a very much channel and partner driven company, and it's called the ecosystem and channel organization, which we have. And this is way up playing a very important role for our growth and success in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And especially from my experience, I'm covering service providers since now, wouldn't I say, 20 years.
Wow.
I think this will be even more important in the future. And that's the reason we are supporting this more or less service provider summit since, I think, more than 10 years.
Cool. So now you already have talked about the venue itself. So what is your impression today? I mean, you have long experience being part of the Service Provider Summit. I think it's the 13th time today. So how is it? What are your takeaways? So how is the atmosphere? What are the main points you have identified for today?
I think if you look to an ecosystem and compare the event here, I think there are a lot of similarities, and that's the reason we are supporting this. And I think this is in an early stage of a kind of ecosystem. And that's the reason I suggested that we would have some discussions on the ecosystem. And the reason I think you are being here and having and starting the discussion in the community to get a common sense on ecosystem thinking.
Cool. And now here, there are many attendees which are either your partners or your clients, or at least, of course, networking partners. So what are at least your tips or your recommendations for the participants attending here, of course, with an ecosystem perspective?
I think, we had a lot of discussion today around different topics, and AI, Gen AI is one of the big topics. And if you look to the competencies you will need, I think, especially in the context of AI, Gen AI, the service providers, I think, have to do the ecosystem play and have to dig into that and think ecosystem.
That is a good closing remark, Thomas. Thank you so much for having you here. And of course, now we are almost at the end of the conference, and I think we are now moving over to the bar and the nice part of the evening. So thanks once again for these insights, and stay tuned and share more to a later point. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.